what's going on?
What's up, Metta?
Hey, how's everything going?
Good. You know how to pop the Lincoln shirt?
Absolutely, man. I see you. Where you get that from?
I got online, man.
Like that Mulberry?
Yeah, no, Shuttlesworth.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah, that's dope.
How things on your end, bro?
It's good. Everything is solid. Just, all up in basketball, the basketball world, like normal.
For sure.
Getting a few things ready for this X Sports app and getting people signed up. We're in beta right now, so just testing out the app.
Right.
I've been focused on that for a long time now. It's going good.
How's you got games coming up?
Yeah, the game, obviously with COVID, it's hard to play games, responsibly right now. So we got these games that we do, COVID checkers, and for right now, we are going to be able, January 29th, to launch the app, and you'll be able to find games and create your own teams, and people could donate cash to your teams. You'll be able to pay players, according to their skill level.
Right.
Exposure. It's really cool, man. I've been inspired by, just the lack of support for the non-NBA players in America.
Right. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's really what inspired it, and it's going to be really cool to see, an ABA player be able to have some cash in their account after a game.
Yeah.
For playing well, or a team, even a team that can't even survive.
Right.
Because the team don't have enough cash, so
not enough sponsorships and cash and support. There's a lot of hoopers out here who are not in the league that just doesn't have the money that they deserve to have. So I'm saying,
yeah, especially being a hooper. I feel like every elite basketball player, if you're a dope basketball player in America, you shouldn't have to play in the ABA to have cash in your account. I mean, in the NBA to have cash in your account.
For sure. So going into that, Queensbridge from New York, what makes New York the mecca of basketball in your opinion? Like, what makes New York the spot for all ballers to go hoop at?
Yeah, I think all spots. When I was young, the mecca. I think the thing that made it the mecca was the media. So when you talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you talk about P.B. Kirkland, you talk about the Rucker. I mean, there's so many people in New York. Basketball is such a big sport where we had tournaments everywhere and people coming out to watch. I think that's what really makes it the mecca.
Right.
You can go to Soul in the Hole. It's not like going to a gym and only 12 people there.
Yeah.
You go to Soul in the Hole, you're going to have 500 to 1,000 people. You go to Kingdom, 2,000 to 4,000. You go to Rucker, 2,000, right? So that's what makes it the mecca. The people showing up, the fans.
Right. Because I'll be watching, I've never been to the Rucker, but the atmosphere looks just crazy. Like all the people screaming, yelling, calling each other out, trash talking. Like the vibe out there is just like, you want to play in that. Kind of like the Drew League.
The vibe, because I would play in like 4 or 5 competitive games a day sometimes.
Right.
From 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. Traveling the city, playing ball against competitors, and you live for that. It's different out here in LA. We trying to get that back, but it's more for the showcase.
Right.
That's why my games that I do is like just competitive. We come in, we just call them the best hoopers, with the exception if we're doing like a recreational game, but for the most part, we doing our best to make sure like some runs are the best hoopers, around, and we want to bring that to different states and then, pick the best from those states, and then we do our showcase games. And this is all done on the app, by the way, but we just want to, I'm from New York, so I'm always inspired by how we approach the game as fans and as players, being from New York. And I don't go back to New York often, so hopefully we can bring that kind of that kind of flair here, to West Coast.
Right. So, LaSalle Academy, right? High school, St. John's University College. Tell me about your high school and your college career. Like, what was that like? Were you like a high pick? Were you like the man on your squad? What type of players you guys went after and stuff like that? What was it like in high school and college for you?
Well, like in high school, I was doing really good my freshman year. Locally, I was known. Nationally, I didn't have a big name, but then every year my name would get bigger and bigger and bigger. Until my senior year at McDonald's All American game, I made the USA team. So McDonald's the best 24. USA team is essentially the best 12, but not everybody always accepts that team.
Right.
So I made that team, and then then going to St. John's, I was one of the one of the top freshmen and coming in, and then obviously I left after St. John's my sophomore year. But it was a grind because I wasn't always the best. I was never like the top in high school, but I was always like, I did go 27-0 in New York City, which was like kind of different.
Yeah.
So I thought I was the best, but I think it was a few players that might have been better than me.
So there's one player, the Dominican guy you grew up with,
Felipe Lopez.
Yeah, Lopez. Yeah, I saw some highlights of him, bro. He can really go. He was like the best.
Felipe was amazing in high school.
Yeah, because I watched the Stephon Marbury documentary, and they brought up Felipe a lot. To search him up on YouTube, and I'm like, this dude was crazy. He was
the truth. He used to bring out the crowds every game. They're very, very similar to LeBron. Very, very similar to LeBron. I'm talking. Those same crowds LeBron was bringing out. Felipe was bringing those crowds out too. I always wish he would have went right to the NBA. Because I just felt like college just wasn't for him. He was so good. He just needed something different. Right. I don't think college was for him.
Right. So, for high school, college, what were some of you got some memorable games that you had? Some games that you like, I put up this amount of points, or games that I really showed out in? Like, what's some of the games you have in high school?
Defensively, I got a lot of great games defensively. Like, I was always able to score, but I was so obsessed with defense. Like, when you look at my career in the NBA, the only times I averaged 20 is when I had somebody defending with me. Like, I was 24 when I got suspended, but Steve Jackson was the one playing all the defense on the wing, so I didn't have to play defense. I just scored. Right. So, with that being said, I can tell you some really good defensive memory games.
Yeah.
People don't even know, but you talk about locking people up, and people, they'll try to complain to the ref.
Yeah.
He hacking. I'm not fouling out, so I got 6 fouls, so I'm going to use 5 of them all the time. And one foul, I'm not gonna foul out. So I'm just gonna be an ass. And so I got some games where I held people to 0, 2, 4. Talk about all stars.
Yeah.
All-Americans.
Yeah.
6. That and people will never understand that because they don't really show that.
No.
But that feeling of holding somebody under 10, under 5. For the game.
You take somebody's soul doing that more than playing like 30, 40 points. Like, if I can't score on this dude, it's like, damn, like, that takes my soul.
Some people really thought some people had skill. Like, some days it'll be like a really good player, all-star, Hall of Famer. Now, they're gonna get off. They're gonna get 35 some nights. Mm-hmm. Nobody ever scored 50 on me in the league. Nobody ever. I think LeBron might have had 40 once or twice. I think. I think Vince Carter might have had 40. Maybe T-Mac had 40.
Yeah.
But then against LeBron, I don't have that many success stories against LeBron. But I do have some against some others. I don't want to call nobody out because I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to disrespect them or because I'm just saying I'm really honored to be able to have shut some people down. It's crazy.
Yeah, so let's go into that. In the NBA, you was on Chicago, Indiana, Sacramento, Lakers, New York, the Knicks. Who was some for one reason? Who's some of your the toughest matchups you had to go up against? Who's the guy that you'd be like, I have to check this dude?
LeBron was tough. Kobe was tough. Those two stand out from an individual standpoint. Now, to my credit, there was a lot of screens. When I was in my prime defensively, you can't pick a time really where somebody was trying to take me one-on-one. Maybe they tried.
Yeah.
It was always a screen coming to me. You know what I mean? So when that screen comes to you, it's harder, to get, it's easier for the offensive player to score.
Right.
Because now the offensive player immediately have options. So with that being said, it's a smart move, especially when you're playing against me. You don't want to play one-on-one the whole time against me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Especially in my prime. But sometimes, like Kobe, LeBron, those guys would do it. And then when Durant was young, it was a little harder for him. He had some good games, but he was thin. He wasn't as strong. So I was able to take advantage of that at times. But when he got older, he started to get stronger. So then he started to get better. So then it became a little bit of an issue. Obviously he's really talented, and Melo was really good. It was Melo. If he was in better shape, he would have got me more games because Melo was tough to guard. I remember one game he had like 2 points. Right, I was playing against him in Sacramento.
Yeah. But
the thing was, he could have scored, but they stopped going to him because I was denying him.
Yeah.
Right. So
you were getting those passing lanes. Yeah, you were getting those passing lanes. I remember. You remember DJ Mabenga?
Mabenga, yeah.
So he was. I'm gonna tell you the story. I saw him like 2 weeks ago, and he was talking about you when you was with the Rockets, when you and Kobe was going at it. And he said, "Man, Ron was kicking our ass. He was killing us." And then I remember that game too, because you and Kobe were drawing it back to one another. But that was like one of the best series I ever seen. That game, I think that went 7 games in that series.
Yeah, we was the only team to take them to 7 that year. I got some wins in my career. Then I had some like woulda, shoulda wins. Like the year we lost against the Spurs, and I was with the Kings. They went on to win the title. The year we lost against the Nets in Indiana, they went on to the championship. The year we lost against the Pistons, they won the title. The year we you know what I mean? So I got some like, oh wow, that could have been us type of ones. And I got some wins. I'm kind of happy when I'm able to reflect. Everybody's career different. Like if you look at Jordan's career, I mean, he's reflective on how great he is, right? Like if you look at like Ben Wallace's career, he's reflective on how many defensive player of the years he got. Right. My career is like I got a couple wins, and I'm really like happy with those wins. Those wins for me is like really big, for me. So everybody enjoy things differently.
So one of the highlights of your career, the Palace, the Brawl in the Palace. How much did that change your mindset? Did that change you at all, like as a person or as a player? Like what was it like going through that whole situation? Did that change you at all?
Well, I mean that Brawl pretty much is not what I wanted in my career. When right now you look at some of the top young players, and you ask them if they want to be suspended for a year, right? Like that's kind of how it was.
Right.
I was averaging 24 at that point, and I felt like the year before that I was at 18, so I would have probably been at about 22, maybe 24. It would have stayed, maybe. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's big, for like a player. Anytime a player is averaging 20 plus, 22, 25. Right? That feel good. And being the top defender in the league, right? So now you talk about being the best two-way player in the league. So when you talk about that opportunity, and then for it to go down the drain, it's like, dang, right? Like I had the opportunity, but it was, I could have prevented it, but I just chose I wanted to go at somebody who hit me. So I felt like I had to address it for the hood, for myself, just for anybody that ever been hit by someone and couldn't defend themselves, right? I had to do it.
Real talk. And people forget, like when you was in your prime, you was averaging, even though you was a great defender, like you was averaging 20 plus in the league. So I used to watch you and be like, damn, his motor must be crazy. Like he must have, conditioning, because it's hard.
Yeah, conditioning.
Yeah, for you to be able to play offense at a good level, high level, then play defense on a higher level, that's rare.
It was conditioning. I used to work out. When I was training in my prime, before I would start shooting, I'd run for 45 minutes, but like sprints and defensive slides, and then I would start training. And I did that every day, and that's how I was able to play D in offense.
Right. So, who is your favorite teammate, or who are some of your favorite teammates you played with in the league?
Yeah, that's better. Like who was so many of them. Shane Battier was one. Steven Jackson, Matt. I mean, Kobe. Yeah, so many of them. They all so different, right? Well, Yao Ming. I mean, superstar, but very humble. Kobe, his actions. Actions speak louder than words. Powell, just always reliable. Steven Jackson, defender, big shot maker, sacrificer. He sacrificed his game for his teammates all the time.
Right.
You see him now, he's just a sacrificer.
Yeah.
Right, he's a sacrificer, man. He has sacrificed himself for his team. And I've seen him do it plenty of times.
Yeah.
Then you talk about, I played with Kevin Ollie. I played with Quincy Doobie. I played with Kevin Martin.
Lamar Odom. Yeah.
Lamar Odom. So many great plays and a different relationship, but, I kind of wish, in my prime, I would have been more stable because when you play with other players, everybody's playing for a job. So what happens is if the team is not doing well, that certain players not going to get an opportunity. Right.
Yeah.
If you look at LeBron teams, even his bench players are going to other teams. Right?
Yeah.
It's because of the responsibility that he has that comes along with that. So, as I look at things, I always try to, kind of spit that free game for young players and stuff.
So, we coming up on almost a year of Kobe's, passing. You may not remember this, but I remember when we played your X vs. X team in San Diego, you was with us downtown, with Abe and the whole crew. And I think you were there like 20 minutes and you dipped. And the next morning, of course, we get the news. So, rewinding, what was your first time you met Kobe? When did you first meet him?
First time I met Kobe, I was 14. He was 15. We were playing basketball in Providence, Rhode Island. Mm-hmm. And it was me, Shem Garwell, Shaheem Holloway, Dwayne Edwards, Raheem Johnson, and then a couple other people. And we was playing against Kobe's and his team. I think Richard Hamilton might have been on that team too.
Yeah, I think Richard Coatesville, Pennsylvania. Yeah,
I think he might have been on that team, and I think we won, or we might have lost, or maybe we won. We might have even won. Yeah, it was crazy because I was on the bench. It was my first time leaving the city, playing in big leagues. So I remember he had 32 going into the fourth, and I was guarding him. He scored maybe 6 or 8 on me in the fourth quarter, but I kind of contained it a little bit better. And I'm not sure if we won. I can't remember that. Maybe we lost, but it was something that I would speak to him about sometimes, and then he would say man, I had about 20 in the fourth quarter, and I just I really lost.
Yeah. And so tell me, is this true? When you was with the Rockets, Kobe called you up after that series and was like, if you want to win a championship, come to the Lakers.
Nah, that's definitely not. That's my brother. That's very, really true. The only reason I tell that story is I'm competitive and, it's kind of my style, right? So anyway, after the Rockets, I wanted to stay with the Rockets. I didn't want to leave the Rockets.
Yeah.
Something was supposed to have happened and it didn't happen, which I don't want to get too much into. So that's the only reason I was not a Rocket. And the next team I was trying to go to was Indiana and Detroit. I wanted to go back to Indiana to win a title, but things happened in the past. It was nah. And then I wanted to go to Detroit because I felt like if I won a title in Detroit, then that would be big. So that was my goals. It was Indiana and Detroit.
Why Detroit?
Why?
Yeah, why Detroit?
Because Detroit's hard. So, you know what I mean? I mean, if it wasn't Indiana, I wanted to go to Detroit. Detroit is hard. I want to go. So then I was trying to go there, and then that didn't work. So then after that, I wanted to go to Greece because, I wasn't the type to want to play with other stars. Mm-hmm. I always wanted to beat stars, but when we called Greece was they didn't think I was telling the truth. They thought my agent was lying. And I don't think we worked hard enough, but I wanted to go overseas because I always wanted to play overseas in my prime.
Yeah.
Always wanted to play overseas in my prime. So that didn't happen. And then the Lakers called me at 12:01. I was in the SLS hotel. I was just like partying with my boys. The Lakers called me at 12:01. And they was like, yo, this is Mitch Kupchak from the Lakers.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell y'all want? Y'all just beat us, right? And then they said, we'd like for me to join the Lakers. I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah.
And then literally the next morning, I had breakfast with my brother, Dr. Buss. We had breakfast at the W Hotel, and then he was like, yo, I know I can't pay you what you deserve, but I would like to have you on the team. And I was like, don't trip. It's all good.
because when I'm not gonna lie, so I'm gonna be honest with you. Coming after 09 when they had Trevor, I was like a little bit like upset they traded him. But then I was like, we got Metta, so that's a...
Well, Trevor, the only reason Trevor wasn't on the Lakers was... If Trevor wasn't on the Lakers, I don't even know if I signed a contract in the NBA, to tell you the truth. So the only reason Trevor left, because Trevor wanted more money, I think, and then they was like, something happened, and they just called me. Trevor was their first option. It wasn't me. Trevor was their first option. And then actually that year, LeBron called too. My brother, our leader LeBron, and it was cool because I felt bad, like, because he was young, and he hit me up on, and like, yo, LeBron wants you to come to the Cavs, and I was like, I knew LeBron was going to be great. I knew it was going to be great, right? So I'm like, my whole thing was try to get wins against greats. If I get wins against greats, then I'll be in that category as a great. So that's the only reason I didn't come. That's the only reason I didn't play with the King. With the King is because of that. And then I didn't want to play with my brother Kobe, but at that point I thought I would have more options. I'm like, but the options was real low. Nobody really wanted me on their team because I wasn't stable. You know what I'm saying? So at that point I said, I'm not passing up on no more deals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then I figured I'll just go to the Lakers.
Yeah, because I mean your production, that Houston team, I'm not gonna lie, you guys really could have knocked us off when Aaron Brooks was going off, Shane Battier was going off, Yao Ming was going off, you were going off. I'm like, damn, we might lose.
Yao Ming broke his foot. When he broke his foot, that really killed us.
Yeah, like I was like, they might mess around and beat us in 7. I'm like, let's get Metta.
If Yao didn't break his foot, man, it's a different ball game.
But back to Kobe though. Can you give us like a thing, like a memory, like a real close memory of you and him? Like, first off, what was he like off the court? Because you hear a lot of shit like about people how they talk about how he was off the court, but you being a close friend of him and being a teammate of him, what was your interaction relationship with him?
Man, I think Kobe was great, man. So I think, one, just watching him play, watching him compete, which is so much fun to see somebody that talented at the highest level compete. There's so many basketball players out there in the world, and it's different when you're in the NBA doing it at that level. It's a different thought process, right? And to see that every day was just really cool. To see him always come through. You got to have a lot of focus to make good moves, fundamental moves, for the shots to go in, big shots to go in all the time.
Yeah.
You got to be so focused.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be so focused to be Kobe. Actually, anybody can be Kobe. It depends how far you want to take it. And to see that every day was so inspiring. Just because I love basketball, we love ball, and that's like ball is everything to us. You know what I mean? So to see it at a high level, I mean, it was just amazing.
What's the best advice he gave you?
Kobe, at times, sometimes he did give me some good advice. I think some of the best advice he gave me was never leave any stones unturned, which he was inspired by Stephen Curry with that. He also inspired me by just being in the back of the bus. I remember him being focused towards the end of his career, really focusing on, what he's doing in life. So he led more by action. So if you watch Kobe, you'll be able to learn a lot. And then towards the end of his career, we had some conversations about like continuing to strive and do, pursue things you love with fundamentals, with discipline, with determination, and different things like that. So very inspired by a lot of his words.
So what were you doing when you found out about the moves that happened on the 26th last year? Like, how did you find out?
Yeah, I was in the bed. My boy hit me up. It's crazy. This guy hit me up who I took to a Laker game to take a picture with Kobe. He was the first one to text me. Yo, something happened to Kobe. And my thing was, at that time, maybe it was just some lying in the news. You know how they be lying sometimes. Mm-hmm. And then when I called, then I texted Lou Williams, and I was like, Lou, you heard what happened? And then Lou said, yo, I think it's true. And then I called Garnett. Yo, you heard what happened? And he's like, yo, it's crazy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, damn. Then I got off the phone with Garnett, started going on Twitter and Instagram, like, oh my goodness, right? And I called people, and then it was true, whatever. And then like, it was just crazy, huh? It was just crazy. Sometimes I still don't believe it. Also, right after that, the pandemic hit.
Yeah, right after that, everything went down once he passed.
Social injustice hit. Everything hit right then and there. So it's like, I was just grieving about Kobe when that happened. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't think. So then you literally had to stop thinking about Kobe because the George Floyd thing happened and the pandemic hit. So nobody was really thinking about what just happened 5 days ago.
Yeah, because everything was one after another. Everything
right after another.
Yeah.
So I still don't believe it at times. Sometimes like I smile a lot because I just really I still don't believe it because Kobe's like a man of his word, and he's just like, if he tell you something, then it come from his mouth. I'll believe it.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's really hard to believe because I wasn't there. And, I haven't seen him. I went to go visit him at his office one time. And so, it's still hard to believe, literally. Still hard. Some days I don't believe it, but then some days you got to believe it. But then some days, like, I just really don't believe it.
You don't believe it. You can't believe it. You don't want to believe it. Like,
it's like so many. Yeah, it's like crazy.
That was my favorite player growing up. Like, to the core, like that was my God. The reason why I started hooping was because of him. So it really took a hit, I think, on the whole world. I just wish more people appreciated him while he was here.
But, yeah, on video it was a little bit shaky.
But nah, so like I was saying, I wish more people appreciated him while he was here.
I think, towards the end of his career, I think they have. There's just so much going on in people's lives, man. So, for the most part, I think his send-off was amazing because he started to do more things. He was with his family. He saw him at the games. He was doing a little business. He was changing as a person. Not changing, but just like, becoming a retired father, So, I felt like he was on top, right after his career too. So a lot of different positives that was going on, and
For sure. Going into you, wrapping up. You got your fiance, everything. Your son hooping, Ron. How's he doing?
Yeah, it's Ron hooping at CSUN, Jerron hooping at Irvine. So yeah, they're both in college at school and sports, doing their thing. So it was really good.
Okay, so you kind of really took the jump from Ron Artest, Metta World Peace. What are you doing now? You got the Ep.6. Tell the people more about that. That kind of
man. Right now we just focus on Ep.6sports.com. The app is launching on it's launching on January 29th. So you sign up as a player. You could find games. In order to find really good games, you gotta share the app with your friends. Tell them to set up games, and the more you set up games, the more it'll populate and people will see it. You could be traveling in Miami, and somebody might have seen you, and you pop up in Miami. You might be able to find a good game. Some games you'll be able to get paid for too. So you in Idaho, somebody might want to pay you to play in a showcase game, and you could travel and make money on the app. Now you can go showcase yourself, showcase your skills, learn how to run a team. Also, you can set up fitness. You can train people if you want, charge people. You could run practices, so teach people how to run a triangle, teach people how to run NBA practices and charge them if you want. Or it can be free. So it gives you the option to charge or free. I developed this app to help talented players that people love, generate some revenue independently, so you don't always have to be dependent on a contract from Mexico. You waiting for the contract from Canada. You can't get overseas, right? So you can just build your own brand right here in America, and that's what the app is for. And it has a feed, so you can post videos of yourself, pictures of yourself. Also, you can post the teams you played on, what countries you played in. So when people go to your profile, they know who you are, and they can invite you accordingly. There's a lot of local businesses that could benefit from sponsoring or donating to a player locally, right? So that's what this app is for, man. And I really hope people sign up. We in beta right now. I mean, if you want the beta link, just direct message me here. I'll send you the link so you can play with it. And January 29th, we live. And if it's a leaderboard, so when you're playing games in the app, you want to make sure you start the game, input the score, and then press end. Because that's the only way you can make the leaderboard. Some people forget to press end. And then they can't get on the leaderboard, and then we can't invite you to like a game in Vegas. We want to invite you to the games in the Midwest. These are traveling games, and there's no politics. You good. And even locally, imagine playing for $50 for open run, or $100 for open run. All you got to do is just take video, post it on your Instagram, post it on your feed, right? And this is the way. I feel like no dope basketball player should be without cash for a whole year for playing ball.
Yeah, me both, bro. I feel the same way. There's a lot of hoopers out here that can go, and it's just like, they don't got money for gas, or they ain't got money for food. I'm like, it's crazy, man.
I agree. That's what this app is for. Like, you should be able to put gas in your car to get to a game, to get to a tryout, right? You should be able to buy some food. I had people that didn't have no phones. I coached like 3 homeless kids when I was doing this app and running teams and just figuring out how it's going to work. A couple of my kids are homeless. They can ball though, but they can't get a $500 job in Mexico, right? So it's like, with all the big corporations we have here in America, you take a piece of their sponsorship and marketing dollars and put it here. We could pay the dope players. We don't even need to go overseas, as an elite player. We could just stay right here and raise our kids, and different things like that. So, I mean, you might be working at Starbucks. Well, where are you going to play if you're working at Starbucks? Well, after you get off work, it's some opportunities for you, right? To still get it in. So that's what this is for.
Yeah, I was talking to Anthony Brown the other day. He's like, that's your boy. He's telling me about the overseas market. A lot of cats are going over there for simply money. Because I went there for a year overseas, and like that's how I went. But I feel like you should have the means here to be able to stay home. If more people play more like acceptable money.
Right. No, I agree. And that's why we want to do it. That's why we're here. And, our goal right now, hopefully to get millions of people on the app. But, the mass group of recreational players can still play for cash. But it's not going to be like playing for cash as an elite player. Our goal this year with the elite players is to get salaries at least to G League level. And not salaries, but just not salaries, but more like the total amount of money that you made just playing sports. So we're hoping to see people's accounts go up, 20 grand, 30 grand, just by just playing ball. And then hopefully you get invited to our showcase games, which that's a direct check. So we're building it. Please share it. January 29th is when the app is coming out, so it's not out right now. But if you want to get a test, version, like I said, hit me up on a DM. I'll send BJ the links, and y'all can hit up BJ too. I'll send you the test flight link.
I got you. So I got one more question for you, big dog. Advice. What would you tell the young Ron Artest and other young hoopers and people just in general, what to do and what not to do? What are some of the things that you learned throughout your time?
No, I would say enjoy the game. I would say play with passion, play hungry, but always have fun. I would definitely say that because I was more gritty, grimy, and just was expecting some drama versus going into the game, loving the game, and expecting just success, having fun. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what the game is about. When you're playing basketball with your team and another 5, you come together, to put on a show. Coming to put on a show because not many people can do it. So, put on the show, have a great time, keep the passion, but, never be detrimental to a team or even a game because it's bigger than you. It's way bigger than you. So that's some things I would probably tell myself.
Well, it's been a great interview, my man. People can follow Metta World Peace on Metta World Peace 37 on your Instagram, and where other we can follow you as well, bro. Instagram.
I would say definitely my Instagram, follow me, and then at X1SXSports, follow us there. And then we, that's pretty much where we at right now these days.
So I'm gonna be hitting you up. I'm gonna hit you up on Instagram, my man.
All right, cool, my guy.
All right, man. Salute.